if you really want to talk about African civilization being advanced, Egypt is the ultimate.
So what you got to do is you got to look up Shakka-Ahmose, Shakka-Ahmose, Shakka-Ahmose.
Shakka-Ahmose, Ahmose.
Give it up for Shakka-Ahmose, Shakka-Ahmose, Shakka-Ahmose.
Shakka-Ahmose.
Very interesting guest today, Shakka-Ahmose.
We have an interesting, exciting artist. We have brother Shakka-Ahmose.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your boy, Mr. Joe, man. I'm back, man. Glad y'all can come through. You know, like and subscribe, share the channel with everybody, man. Let them know that your boys is back. So we're gonna get into something new. You know, I haven't talked about a debate in a few years. And so we're gonna talk about one that I was really interested in. It just happened like a week ago, I believe. Captain 𝓈𝓔�Ⓩ and Shakka-Ahmose. And the title of the debate, you'll see it up here on the flyer, is which ancient records will help black people today, or something like that. You see the title, okay? I forgot it, but I'm gonna put it up here. And I just wanna say, man, you know, I'm a Bible believer. You know, I do believe I am an Israelite and all that. I'm a Christian. But in this particular debate, I gotta give it to Shakka-Ahmose. I have to give it to Shakka-Ahmose. One, because Captain 𝓈𝓔📏 did what he's been doing for years. Like, starting in the 1800s, and you talking about ancient writings? Like, that didn't sit well with me, bro. Like, no, you gotta, you know, there was no Tanakh, no Torah, there was no Hebrew, there was no, I don't know what it is, bro. Everything was in English. He talked about Christianity, which Israelites don't even like Christianity. Like, I don't know. I'm tired of that. There was no ancient writings. He talked about the Bible. He didn't talk about the Ethiopian Bible. He talked about King James. He didn't talk about, like, I don't know, bro. I wasn't with it. I wasn't with it. So that's one reason I say Shakka won, because Cap did not come with, he didn't come with what I wanted to see. Secondly, Shakka came from the standpoint of one of the biggest issues that we have as black people is mental illness. So Captain dealt with the moral and kind of spiritual aspect. Shakka dealt with our mental illness. And the way he broke that down, went into the 𝓈𝓔𓄿𓅓𓏭𓀢𓀁, the glyphs, and all these ancient writings, man, that goddamn, bro, like, bro, I'm about to start studying Kemet, bro. I'm about to start studying Kemet. Cause I ain't never liked Kemet. I ain't never give a damn about it. I'm not a Jabari fan, so I don't care what he was talking about. But when I saw Shakka going into the, listen, I don't believe the Bible was plagiarized from Kemet. I don't believe that. But Shakka is about to make me a believer, though. Shakka almost got me to believe it. He almost got me to believe it. And I'm about right here. Because hey, Shakka did an excellent job, bro. I mean, that was excellent. Going into the 𝓈𝓔𝓿𝓿𝓏, showing you the word Yahweh, the way they spell it in 𝓈𝓔𝓿𝓿𝓏, talking about mental illness, going in, damn, he did so much shit. I wish they would have had 30 minutes. I know he got a class or something he teaching. I need to go over there because that was excellent. Shakka did not lose. How you lose because you turn up in a debate? You know, people were saying he got too emotional and this. Then at the end, he closed it out at the end. Man, come on, man. Listen, Shakka won the debate. It was a landslide. Captain, they got to do better. Talking about slavery and the slaves did this and the slaves. So you want to go to some young black people out here right now in the streets. And the task is to show them the ancient writings, the ancient script, whatever. And you gonna pull up some shit talking about the slaves, the church. They're gonna tune it out already. They're gonna tune this shit out. And as soon as you said, well, I don't care if a slave rebellion, I don't give a shit if the churches built all of this shit. If you tell these today that you're gonna fix them or help them fix problems, and the first shit you say is slave, Bible, and church, it is a wrap. You need to be saying Torah. You need to be putting up some goddamn Hebrew. You gotta pull out some old stuff. Like Shakka did. Man, come on, man. Come on. But anyway, I'm through rambling, bro. Shakka did an excellent job, bro. I'm about to start studying Kemet. I'm finna go to his website, whatever, nigga. We finna get it in now. God damn. Oh my God. Oh man. But yeah, man. Shout out to Shakka, man. Shout out to Shakka, man. Peace. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
Family Tree, let me know that you're up in the building with me simply by hitting the like button or just leave a comment down below so I know that you guys are locked in and tuned in with me. So we're doing a quick ones, yeah. I am so happy. 𝓈𝓔𝓿𝓿𝓏𝓿 TV, salute to you, King. Oh my God, thank you. Yeah, because I've been waiting so long to get some good information in my soul, and you provided. You got Shakka-Ahmose Kemetic par excellence, orator, teacher, in the building with vocab alone. Jeez, Christian apologetic, Hebrew killer, Lord have mercy. Thank you, son. I might have to just send some money your way for that one right there, you know. So let me not even just talk, let me actually do send. So Anyways, yeah, back to this now. So I was watching this. I don't know if you guys watched it or not. Bro, it was a good dialogue, okay, between the two of them, because I learned so much information just by listening to the two of them. It was incredible. Now, personally though, I think that Shakka was right though. Unfortunately, Vocab Malone is Kemetically illiterate, and I see that. You know, I think we can all see that. Anybody who knows a little bit of Kemetic information can clearly see like, he doesn't really know Kemetic stuff like that. He knows some cursory information, but he doesn't really know stuff. I don't know, innit? Like, so to me, yeah, like when Shakka's saying like you don't know and you're trying to relate the Kemetic paradigm into your own Christian, it doesn't work. It 100% doesn't work. Why it was really good again, like to do with the logos, the memra, from the Aramaic or the Hebrew perspective, like really good stuff. Neoplatonism, like bringing up, like Shakka, he goes in. I can't lie, he does go in, but it's very pertinent because it's great learning tools. Like it was good that you went off on one because we got to learn something. Them ways there. Yeah. Jeez. I need to do some shows though. I really do need to do some shows. And I want to do some Kemetic shows, to be honest with you. Like I need that in my soul right now. Like that's why I was so happy about the Shakka-Ahmose one, because I need some Kemetic stuff pumping through my veins. Please. Did you catch Shakka saying Ma'at was replaced by laws in Proverbs? That was exactly. Shakka was dropping some crazy good information. Crazy good information on there. Shakka-Ahmose and Vocab supposed to debate again, I think, tonight or tomorrow. So, oh my God, listen. I am putting money down for that. I'm putting money down for it. That was the best form of educational entertainment I've had in a long time. Once you don't have a critical mind, you can fall for anything, to be honest with you. Let's see. Shakka-Ahmose was the first I heard said that the Septuagint was written in Ďanča and stands hold up in academia. Yep. Shakka-Ahmose.
All right. So, where are you currently in your studies? How long have you been studying?
I've been studying since 2015. 2015, I've been studying. I used to be a Christian. 2014, I kind of was doing my research on Christianity because I was a Christian for 40 years. And then I started doing my research, and then I came across Sinetta TV. And then when I heard Shakka-Ahmose, he became my favorite. I mean, he broke it down to me to the point where he converted. He made me say, you know, because I was thinking about when I came out of Christianity, I was thinking about becoming a Hebrew Israelite. And I was on the fence with that, you know, because I really didn't know what they were about. But then I sat down and I watched the debate between him and 𝓈𝓔𓄿𓅓𓏭𓀢𓀢, and Shakka sold me right there. That I watched that 5-hour debate, and I've actually watched it maybe 6 times since then. Shakka sold me on becoming Kemet. And with that being said, you know, I continue to do my research because knowledge is infinite. And, you know, Shakka has helped me with not just from the Christian's perspective, not just from the Hebrew Israelite perspective, from the Muslim perspective, because I had no knowledge of Muslims as well. But he's helped me with books that I should have read as well. I do have a lot of books. I just don't have the time to read it, you know. That's my only problem. I need more time to read.
And what made you want to come out today to study with him?
I wanted to meet him. I'm not lying to you. I wrote down on my vision board 2008 that I wanted to meet Oprah Winfrey, Alicia Keys, Gayle King, and Shakka taught them, because it wasn't even about fame, it wasn't about celebrity, you know what I'm saying? And I was in a different frame of mind. And so I really wanted to meet this man. His knowledge, Malcolm X is a person that I admire. I really admire. He's my hero. And Shaka, I would say, is number 2. I would put him as number 2, and the reason why I put him at number 2 because of his knowledge, you know. And I want to be able to absorb that knowledge so that I can be able to be a teacher as well.
And what were you anticipating with studying with him today?
It was so much. It was overwhelming. I mean, like, you know, got here a little after 9. It started at 9. It's 2 in the morning. You see my watch. It's 2 in the morning. I'm still here, and we still got more questions going on. So we'll probably be 3 o'clock, hopefully. But it was more than I expected. So much knowledge, so much information, so much to absorb, so much to soak up. And I know I have to come back and see him again and again and again, you know, because it's too much. It's too much to take in at one time, you know. I'm hoping to get the video so I can sit back and absorb and pick up on the things that I missed out on.
And, oh yes, you will most definitely get the video replay because you got the VIP reservation, and you get a copy of the Codex Game Over, and you also get a 20-minute free consult with him.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's all in the VIP one. So for today with studying with him, what was your number 1 takeaway?
It was not like all of it. It's like sitting in front of your grandfather, and Shaka has so much knowledge. It's hard to just say it was just one thing. It was just I feel like a little kid sitting in front of my grandfather, somebody that I admire, someone that treats the family right and perfect, and everybody looks up to him. That's how I look at him. You know, he's my teacher. I've said that before I even met him. I said Shaka is my teacher because the way he teaches, the information, he backs it up. And I like information that can be backed up, things that I can be able to show someone else and basically just not telling them off the top of my head. I can say, look, here it is. This is what this says. I can back it up with references and sources. So I call Shaka my teacher. He's my teacher.
And lastly, why would you recommend that someone study with Shaka?
I recommend you study with Shaka because before I even met Shaka, I have not met one person, in my life that has taught me personally how to study history the correct and the proper way. Before I came across Shaka on Saturday TV, 1492 was as far as my history went back, but Shaka taught me how to go beyond slavery, how to go back into Egypt, go back into the pre-dynastics period and things like that, to go back into the middle dynasties and all of that, and study the kingdoms, to study the kings that was in place at the particular time. But he just showed you. And one thing about me personally, I've always loved history, and I had a love for it in school. But Shaka is teaching the history that I wanted, that I needed. That's the true, real history of our people and where we came from, and how we controlled the world, and then how we fit, how we were, how the Greeks came in and took over, and then the Arabs took over, the Persians took over, and things like that. So, I mean, that's basically, if you really want to know true history, Shaka is the person to be able to teach you, show you, back it up, give you the books to read up on, to do the research yourself. If you really want to be able to become knowledgeable and to know history, you have to do your research yourself and read.
Okay. So the first question is, where are you in your studies? What's your journey been like?
My journey, I came into consciousness, as an African American Christian, just like most of us grow up in our, family structure. I became a Hebrew Israelite, and I went through that school of consciousness, until now. Currently, I would say I'm along the lines of, the Kemetic, the Nile Valley, civilization studying, and more along evolution and, archaeology and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. And what made you want to study with Shakka today?
Wow, Shakka, man, I'm watching him on video with 𝓈𝓔𓄿�㓏𓏫 and watching him give his, presentation and break everything down and destroy people in these debates. And he's a very knowledgeable brother. His scholarship is like top notch, and he presents you with facts and information, with sources and just information that you normally wouldn't come across.
And when you were planning on coming to study with him, what were you anticipating it was going to be like?
Well, I expected to hear things about the Egyptians and how they had slaves, and how it's parallel to the African American experience in slavery. And he proved a lot of things that a lot of people didn't think was true. He proved this point. And he also taught us about, warfare and how we should learn history and just that can help us, to grow in, here in America and to defeat, our conquerors.
And for you, what was your highlight with studying with him today?
Oh, wow. He presented me with some facts and information that just blew my mind regarding the Egyptians and the slavery and the parallel to the African American slavery here in America, and can't wait to see the rest of this presentation because it's a very, very top-notch scholarship.
And lastly, why would you personally recommend someone to study with him?
I'll say because Shakka, he doesn't waste any words when he speaks of things that he knows something about. He takes time, he learns the ins and outs of it. He don't come to you with half-truths. If he gives you some information, he give you sources. You can go back and check their sources and verify the things he's saying. And to me, he's like one of the best, scholars that I've come across.
So how long have you been on your quest of knowledge?
I've been on my quest of knowledge probably about 3 years or so, give or take, a little bit more.
And how did that journey unfold?
I just started watching videos online. Started with the Nation of Islam, 𝓈𝓔𝓏𝓏𝓫, then I found 𝓈𝓔𝓿𝓏𝓏𝓫 TV, all of the good brothers giving good information on there, and just kept going and going and going from there, and just kept growing and getting hungry for more knowledge. So
the next question is, how did you first get introduced to Shakka?
𝓈𝓿𝓏𝓏𝓫 TV, all the good brothers over there. So just found them on YouTube and just been going ever since. Listening to a lot of the videos, a lot of lectures, a lot of the debates, and it's a lot of good information.
What were you anticipating in studying with him today? Like, what did you think it was going to be like?
I knew he was going to bring a lot of good information. He's a well-studied guy. He speaks well. He's very knowledgeable at the topics that he talks on before he even talks. So just knew I was going to get some type of information. I didn't know necessarily what, but it was really a good study. We did probably over 4 hours. I wasn't expecting that long, but he put in a lot of work tonight.
Okay. And what was your revelation moments? Did you have any? And how was your experience studying with him? Yeah.
The experience was amazing. Learned a lot of new stuff. Got a lot of references that I want to go back and look into these books. A lot of books that I want to look into, reading and just getting my knowledge up, so that way I can be well studied and carry this knowledge and give it to the people.
And why would you recommend someone to study with Shakka?
Because he's very passionate about what he does. You can tell that he's really out here trying to save the minds of our people and give them correct information and correct misinformation that may be out there. So he speaks on facts and he stands very strong on the evidence.
Where are you on your study journey? How long have you started? How did you start? What's your evolution?
Okay, so I grew up Catholic. Was an altar boy. I really never was really too into the religion, but it wasn't until later on where I started getting the courage to really think about how much I didn't believe what they were telling me. So it started to have me start to study other different things. And it wasn't until I'd say about 7 or 8 years ago where I started to really delve into what I was gonna believe for the rest of my life, or what I was gonna, actually get in an active role to how I was gonna live the rest of my life instead of just flowing through it. So I started watching these videos on YouTube, and I started listening to Shakka on House of Consciousness, 𝓖𝓔𓄿𓅓𓏭𓀢𓀁, and that's basically about 7 years ago, and it's completely revamped how I think about things.
And how did you hear about the study session today? And what made you want to come?
I follow him on Instagram, and he's one of the people who more than anybody else, I was like, okay, well, I'd actually seen a couple of other people live, seen Dr. Umar, but I really got interested in coming to see Shakka. I was like, well, I've been watching him for 7 years. I was like, I definitely gotta come. If he's coming in town, I'm gonna go and see him. So that's why I saw it on the Instagram post that he was doing the tour. So the second I saw that, I actually bought the ticket.
And what about Shakka separates him from other scholars, since you've seen so many?
Right. Other than the appearance, that just is like, wow, who's this guy? When you see him on there, you're like, oh, he's obviously different from anybody else. And then when he starts speaking, you realize how much more in depth he is about everything he's speaking about. There's a lot of guys who do some research, and you can tell they work hard doing research, but Shakka has an air of truth that not a lot of other people have. A lot of people like some people call them Hotep hustlers, because they just kind of use it to make money and this and that, but I kind of get a genuineness from Shakka. That's why I wanted to come and study with him.
What were you anticipating in studying with him today?
I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I've watched hundreds of hours of his lectures on TV, but most of what I saw was something that was directed more or less by 𝓖𝓿𝓁 or generated from a debate with another scholar. So I knew it was going to be different, just being in the room while he was doing a lecture without having somebody ask him questions, making the thing go into the direction they wanted it to go. I was looking forward to seeing him freelance and go exactly where he wanted to go on it. So that's what made it unique. That's what made my wanting to come to this experience unique. So.
And do you think that you received what you thought you wanted to receive, or do you think that the information that you received was vital and was new and was leveled you up?
Absolutely, because most of what he talked about was really something that I had been talking to my father about for years, and he came at it from a different perspective, so much so that I kind of want him and my father to have a conversation now, and I'd like to witness that and tape that, because my father wanted to actually write something on it, write a piece or a paper or essay type thing about that very subject. So it was, and like I was telling Shakka, when I got into looking at, even though we don't like that term, the conscious community, like all these people, I was really into Dr. John Henrik Clarke, and I was talking to my father about John Henrik Clarke, and he was like, you really should, study Sheikh Anta Diop. And I was like, no, I've seen a little bit about him, he's good too, but John Henrik Clarke. And then what I learned today about Sheikh Anta Diop, my dad would have loved, and I would have loved my dad to see that, because it really brought into perspective what he was talking about when he was telling me to look more into that guy. And Shakka brought it so in depth. He went, I didn't even know where he was going with it at first, and when I saw how he pulled it together, it was something phenomenal. I really enjoyed it.
And lastly, why would you recommend someone to study with Shakka? Like, what like, what do you think is going to be the takeaway that someone can get from doing studying with him?
I can guarantee that you can have a conversation or a study session with Shakka about something that you've had hundreds of conversations with dozens of different people about, and you will get a completely brand new perspective on that subject that you think you've talked to death. And he'll give you a new perspective about it, and he'll give you references and data points that you never really thought about, because his research is impeccable. I don't really know how he has the time and the patience to do all that, but it's gonna be something. He doesn't really take it lightly. So when somebody takes it that seriously, it shows. It really shines, and that's what somebody can take away: a brand new perspective, more than one brand new perspective, or more than a better.
Okay, so where are you in your journey in studying and learning? Like, where are you right now?
Well, actually, I feel like I'm in the first stage of consciousness. I actually, woke up last June, actually. So I'm not even 12 months in.
Okay.
So it's been a nice journey down that rabbit hole. It's been a nice journey down that rabbit hole.
Okay. And so what made you want to attend and want to study with Shakka?
Oh, well, I was introduced to Shakka from a friend of mine, he joined us today also. Mm-hmm. And it's just the research. It's just immaculate. It's immaculate. It's perfection, straight perfection.
Okay.
Facts is facts, truth is truth. And everything that's been given to me from him, even going back to the 𝓈𝓔�Ⓩ days, just been like that.
Okay. And what were you expecting before studying with him? Like, what were you thinking it was going to be like?
Well, at first, when I used to consider and call myself a Christian, an Israelite, or whatever you want to call it, I actually, I seen him before, and I kind of like heard, in between, but then when you actually get to see the truth and the facts, and it comes back and it hits you, you're like, wow. And then I was just back reintroduced to him, and shoot, I've been on the straight and narrow then.
Okay. Straight. And so what was your greatest takeaway from studying with him today?
What I gathered today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, a lot of things that he told me I couldn't recall. Actually, he kind of like ironed me out, especially with a lot of the questions from the other men that was here, and it's just a lot of new stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I know everything, but I know a considerable lot. But I mean, he basically sharpened me up and gave me some new ammunition. I'm gonna say that, new ammunition for the truth.
And why would you recommend someone to study with him?
Well, actually, if you don't study with him, you're missing out. You really, really missing out. And me, myself, like I said, everything that, I came across with him, I mean, he breaks it all the way down. Like, it's stuff that you might not be thinking that he's going to explain. He explains it all the way. I'm talking about bringing you back to the beginning and beyond.
Where are you on your knowledge journey? Like, how long have you been doing it? Where did you start?
Well, I've been starting on my knowledge journey for about 10 years now. I studied a lot of our best scholars and whatnot, so I know he's been studying with them, grew up in that journey, so I had to speak with him and get his information on everything he knows and go from there in my journey. He knows a lot.
How did you hear about the study session today?
I heard about the session through the website. Just following him on Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. I actually been following him on Health and Consciousness, so I nodded his book away excitedly. I'm glad to follow him on all his social media networks to keep informed.
What were you anticipating in studying with him today?
I was anticipating things I never heard of, which I was glad. It's definitely going to be things you're not going to hear of. And just in-depth knowledge on what I thought I knew already.
And do you think that you received information that you didn't hear from anyone else? Do you think that the information was significant, monumental? Like, did anything like blow you away?
Oh, definitely. Shakka's always going to bring you something that you're not going to hear from anybody else. He studied with the grace, so anytime he is bringing something, you can best believe it's going to be something in-depth that you're probably going to have to look into more for yourself, just for reassurance, but it's going to be something that probably you're not going to hear anywhere else but from him.
And what do you think separates him from anyone else in studying with him?
He's hands-on. He's going to make sure that he explains things thoroughly, and definitely things that you haven't heard before is going to be tangible to your everyday life, not only just educational wise, but family wise. Just knowing how to move as a person in this world. So I got a lot.
And lastly, why would you recommend someone study with him?
Why not? He studied with the best. He's a top scholar himself. And like I said, you're definitely going to hear things that you haven't heard before. Definitely. I wouldn't suggest anybody else at this point in time but Shakka. Hands down.
Okay. And so, how did you hear about the tour? How did you hear about it?
I heard about the tour through Mark, and then going to the Black Dot bookstore in 𝓖𝓔𓄿𓅓𓏭𓀢𓀢 Georgia, and picked up the material. But through Mark, when he told me, I actually went online and I researched the tour.
Nice.
And the cities and whatnot. But I had no idea that I was going to gain this much knowledge. And what really is just close to my heart is just seeing how Brother Shakka is so passionate about his teaching. He's so passionate about his research, and he's so passionate about bringing the truth, and encourage you to pick up where we left off, and I certainly will do that. I took so many notes on my phone, and so now I have a really good guide of where I need to start researching and following that path. And yeah, I'm very, very interested in attending his workshops.
Fantastic. And lastly, why would you recommend someone study with Shakka?
Because knowledge is power, and it's true, for the lack of knowledge, our people shall perish. For the lack of true knowledge, our people shall perish. I think that attending his workshop and getting that knowledge through him and researching it, as he encouraged you to research what he's researched and know for yourself, and you will actually be on that road of truly knowing thyself, much further back than where we've been taught. And by far, it's a very, very superior documents that he presents, and just the knowledge within itself and the research within itself. So I would encourage any and everybody who wants to rise to the next level, even the new beginners, rather than waste a lot of time learning at this level, why not learn from the top, and then work backwards as far as history. So the further back you can start, the more that you know, the more that you can grow, the more that you can teach, and to work with one another and understand the dynamics of working with one another and what we're working with, the knowledge that we're working with, and first and foremost, the history.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so how long have you been on your journey of knowledge?
Now for me, I've been on my journey, particularly once I met him. So it's been about 6 years because he's been my teacher.
Nice.
My master teacher. I was in Christianity, but I knew that there wasn't something clean, and something wasn't clean in the milk. So all of my questions really wasn't being answered. And then you were told that there's certain questions you don't ask. So I can remember at age 19, the prayer that I had was, before I leave this earth, please allow me to learn the truth. And I feel that now I'm learning the truth. Like, this is a totally another level of teaching, and as far as knowledge, because being awoke, you're at one conscious level, but because Shakka went so much further than that, as far as history, tying it all together, basically almost from the beginning. And it just gave me a wealth of knowledge, of understanding it beyond the level of where I was.
And what about yourself?
Thank you. That was great. She just
higher education.
And what about yourself? How long have you been on your journey?
I've been on my journey since 1969.
Wow.
Okay. My father was a Black Panther, and we just kind of went full circle. And Brother Shakka is, like he said, a true researcher. And he just ties everything back. And so I'm back home.